Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good Friday. I wanted to come on here and talk about something this week that happened with a client of mine that I think might help you guys out a little bit. Maybe teach you guys something, and yeah, hopefully it'll be useful to you. So I had a client who, a mother and son came to me, and they were looking for a car for the son, and it was his first car. He's like 18, 19, and they had a certain budget in mind, and I recommended to him, like I usually do, that they should lease a car, because she wanted to only be on the loan for a couple years so that she could get off of the loan, so that she could do stuff she wanted to do with her credit. And they basically said, no, we don't want to lease. We've heard really bad things about leasing, and we don't want him to go over the mileage, and if it's not returned in good condition, then I don't want him to be penalized for it. And they had all of these reasons, all of them which were not valid, because there's so many misconceptions about leasing. But they basically were like, no, we don't want to do this. We want to buy something used. And so I found them a car in their budget for the price that they were looking for. And they weren't going to put any money down, and they didn't have any, really didn't have anything to trade in. So this car had like 70,000 miles on it, and they wanted to do a 5.5-year loan on the car. And they went and looked at it, and they liked the car, and she said, well, is there anything else that you guys can find me? And I said, well, honestly, what are you trying to do? Are you hoping that you can get off of this loan in a couple years? And she was like, yeah. And I basically proceeded to tell them, look, if you buy this car at this price, which is a fair price for the car, and then you try and refinance it in a couple years, you're going to be refinancing it when it has over 100,000 miles on it. It's not going to be worth what you owe on it. You're going to owe way more on it than it's worth. And you guys are probably not going to be able to refinance this car, because you're going to be paying you're going to be paying interest on this car that basically is becoming worth less and less as you drive it. And in 3 years, you'll still owe plenty of money on it. Whereas if you lease something, you can for sure get out of the loan in a few years, and you won't ever be upside down in it, because the lease isn't structured that way. You'll always have manufacturer warranty, so you won't have to worry about repairs. Your $300 car payment's not going to turn into a $3,300 car payment 1 month because something breaks. And so they started to come around again, and started to see the value in leasing. And she was like, well, I've heard that leases are like really bad, and like my son's girlfriend, her dad said to never lease a car. And basically what I told him, which is true, is that dealerships don't know how to set up leases. You just tell them you want a payment, and they do everything they can to cram you into that payment. And so people end up getting screwed on a lease because the dealership doesn't know what they're doing. They don't know how to structure a lease properly so that it sets you up for success in the future. So we get a lot of times, these objections to like, oh, I can't change the car, I can't like modify it, and none of that's true. You can tint the windows, you can do anything that adds value to the car. You can even wreck the car. If the car's wrecked and the insurance company fix it, you can still return the lease, or you can trade it in. And the mileage, the only time the mileage matters on a lease is if you return the keys to the place that you leased it from. So if you just throw them back the keys and you've gone over your mileage, then yes, that's not a good thing to do. But there's so many more options. You can trade in the car, you can buy out your own car. And I told them, I was like, trade it into me in a few years. Even if you're over the mileage, like, you're going to be fine, because we set the lease up properly. And so I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there. And I know this video is kind of long, but if some of you are thinking about getting into a vehicle soon, and you have a family or friend or somebody who says that you should never lease a car, then I'd be happy to sit down with you and kind of show you why that might not necessarily be true. And it's not always the smartest thing to do. It depends on the vehicle, and you want to be in the right car. But for the majority of deals and the majority of people out there, a lot of times leasing is the smartest thing to do financially. So anyways, I hope that's helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. But yeah, hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye.